Good morning, guys. Well, it's day 8 in my Vlogmas series, so I'm doing really good. I wasn't sure how consistent I would be. I was hoping to do like the 12 days of Christmas, so I think I'm going to exceed that because we have what's today's the 13th? 17 more days, 18 more days. Yeah, I think I can do more. But I wanted to check in and let you know about a couple little wins I've had this week that I'm really proud of. The first, I did a short on yesterday where I could zip my jacket up for the first time because I bought that last year and there was no way I was going to be able to zip it up, but I didn't care. I just thought it looked cute. And yesterday I noticed, I looked down, I thought, I bet you I could zip this up. And sure enough, I was able to zip it up. So that was exciting, but I'm not going to wear it zipped up. It doesn't look cute. But anyway, the second win that I had was earlier this week. I had gone to get gas and for some reason it wasn't reading my card and it said to go inside and pay the cashier. And normally I would have just drove off because it's like, I am not walking into the store. That was just too much like work. But I did. I went in the store, I paid cash, and their reader was down, she said. So that was a win. Because like I said before, I would have just drove off. I would have said, oh, the heck with this. You know, I'm not walking all the way across the parking lot into the store. I know, that's how bad things were. And then the third win was I had gone to pick up my one grandson from school, and I had to pick him up a little bit early because I had to stagger picking up 5 different kids. So I ended up picking him up a little bit early. And while I was waiting for him in the office, they had these chairs that, I had sat in previously. And the last time I sat in those chairs, my thighs touched either side of the chair, where the armrests were. And this time there was a gap between my thighs and the arms of the chairs. So I was pretty happy about that. I mean, there are little things, I know, but unless you've been in this position, you probably don't understand or can't relate, but some of you probably can. And so yeah, these things are happening, and it's just making me feel, it just encourages me to keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm only halfway there. I could say, oh, this is great, just quit right now, but no, I'm doing so well. I'm never going to quit doing Carnivore. But yeah, it's just been working out really well for me, and I'm pretty happy with that. But I also wanted to talk about something a little more serious. I don't know if you guys are familiar with an herbal supplement. It's called Kratom. Some people call it Kratom, but it's like a tea that you can get, or you can get it in capsules. And it's basically like an herbal pain reliever. They use it in Southeast Asia, Thailand. That's where it originated from. And the problem that we have with it in our country is it's not regulated, and anybody can make it, and anybody can sell it, and anybody can buy it. So it's something you really got to be careful with. I first became aware of it years ago when I had a really bad fall and I cracked my tailbone. They put me on pharmaceutical pain meds. And what was it that I was on? Oh, I can't even remember. But anyway, yeah, codeine? Probably codeine, something like that. And I had to take that, and I had physical therapy. But if you've ever been on that, it's terrible. At first it's great because it relieves your pain and you're like, oh, thank God. But then after you have to take it on a regular basis, it just drains you of all your energy. You have no motivation, and it's not good. And the longer you're on it, the worse it is. And you start building up a tolerance to it to where you need more. So I wanted to get off. I did not like the way it made me feel, but I was in pain. I needed something. And I had a friend, actually I had a couple friends that were using the Kratom. And the one friend, she had fibromyalgia, and then the other one, she had a leg injury. And so she had gotten off the pharmaceutical drugs and was using this. And they both had, really good luck with it. So I looked into it, and at first I was kind of nervous because, like I said, it's not regulated over here, and the dosage thing is really difficult. You don't know how much you're going to need, and it can be kind of tricky. But because I had two friends that both had been doing it, they both gave me some great advice. And then I went and joined some forums online to see if I could find out some more about it. And what I found out was there was two distinct parties. There's the pro side, people that really believe in it and the benefits of it. And then there was the con side of people that just thought it was a drug that people abused, and they were talking about all the bad side effects. So at this point, I'm aware of both sides, and I'm like, wow, this is something I'm not going to enter into lightly. So I also learned that you don't want to just buy it from gas stations or 7-Elevens, because they sell this stuff everywhere, and you need to find a reputable company. And through these forums, there was certain names that kept coming up over and over. So I decided to go with one of those companies, and I bought some. And the first time I tried it, I was very smart. It said to start low, the lower the better. So I did a very small dose, and I noticed it helped. And not only did it help with the pain, but instead of making me feel tired like the pharmaceutical drugs did, it gave me a little bit of a lift, like a cup of coffee or something. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And I was able to wean myself off of the pharmaceutical pain meds, and I just started using this. And it was way better. I always took it in very small doses, no more than 4 grams at the most. I started out with 2 to 3, and that seemed to work the best. Sometimes if I wanted a more sedating effect, I took a higher dose, like in the evening, and that's what happens. If you take it in a smaller dose, it's more of a stimulant. And the people on the forums that were taking it as a recreational drug would laugh at me. They're like, you're not going to get any effect if you're taking less than 7 grams. You have to take 7 grams or more. And I was like, really? They said, it doesn't even work. You're just kidding yourself. Well, I attempted to do that one time, and I got so sick. My God, I got the spins. I was nauseous. It was horrible. So that wasn't right. I realized I'm not listening to them anymore. So I went back to just taking 2 grams, and that was fine. I guess at higher doses, it does produce some kind of euphoric effect. That wasn't what I was looking for, and it certainly did not do that for me. I don't know if it works differently for other people, but yeah, and that seems to be the problem. There are people that are doing it just to get that euphoric effect, and using it like a drug. So they're the people that are getting all these bad results because they're taking it in such high doses. I watched a Joe Rogan episode because Joe Rogan, he also takes it from time to time as well. And I'm going to link that in the description because it was very informative. But I would recommend it. I would like to recommend it, but because it's not regulated and because the dosing is hard, I don't know if I could necessarily recommend it. I feel like I was responsible and I was very careful, and so I've been fortunate, but I would hate to recommend it to somebody and have them have some ill effects from it. But I like the idea that it wasn't as addicting as the pain meds that they had me on, because those were known to be highly addictive. And I was on them for several months. So that was another reason why I had to do this, because I was worried I was going to have to wean myself off. And also they were talking about doing away with those kind of medications anyway. And I was like, oh no, if they do away with this, what am I going to do? I'm just going to suffer. I'm just going to be in pain all the time. So that was a big concern too. Eventually my pain slowly eased to where I don't need any medication. But you can also use Kratom as a mild stimulant. It's like having coffee. It just makes you more alert in the morning at a very small dose, maybe 2 grams, 2 to 3 grams tops. Any more than that, it's going to be more of a sedative. So if you want to use it in the evening for sleeping or something, maybe it would work for that. The pills are only 0.5 gram. And so in order to get 7 grams or more, you're talking about taking 14 pills. Who wants to take 14 pills? I couldn't. That was nuts. So I used, you can get it in a powder form, and you make a tea out of it. You put it in with boiling water and some sweetener, and that makes it palatable. It still tastes terrible. It's very bitter. It's not something you would drink for enjoyment. But yeah, I have heard a few people say that they've known somebody that passed away from it, but it turns out the majority of those cases, or all of those cases, I don't think I've heard of maybe but one case where they didn't have other drugs in their system, and they think that Kratom contributed to the death, but it wasn't the sole cause. And there's only been one case that I've heard of where the person had no other drugs in their system other than seizure medication, and so they're blaming it strictly on very high dose of Kratom. I don't know what the dosage, they never did say, but so that is definitely, something to be concerned about. But you can die from any medication. Obviously, people die, thousands and thousands die every year from prescribed medications, taking them properly. People die from overdosing on drinking too much water. Marijuana, I mean, it's rare, but these things happen. Almost anything, if you do it wrong or in too much, you can die. So that argument really didn't hold up. The biggest argument for me is, like I said, the fact that it's not regulated. People are selling this and you don't know what's in it. So that's why it's important to go with a reputable company that actually analyzes it. They put it all on the back of the package. They let you know. And I haven't had any issues buying from, there's like 2 or 3 different companies that I've purchased from. And they're a little more expensive. You can buy cheap Kratom, but why would you risk that? I wouldn't recommend buying it at a vape shop. I know a lot of them sell it. Actually, I did one time just because I ran out and I didn't want to wait to order it. So I went in and it didn't do anything. I don't even know what it was, but it didn't affect my pain whatsoever. So I don't recommend buying it from a vape shop or anything. Do your research if you're going to consider this. Like I said, I'm not recommending this for anybody. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my story of what it did for me. And I just would not feel comfortable telling anybody else to use this. It was funny, one time I was in a store and I was checking out, and there was an older gentleman at the next register, and the cashier obviously knew him, and she asked him how he was doing, and apparently he knew that he was getting weaned off his medication, and so he was telling her that somebody recommended Kratom to him, and he was saying, wow, this stuff is so great, it's so wonderful, and it just made me smile because I hadn't heard anybody else talk about it. And he was just telling her how much better he's doing, and he felt so much better since he started doing this. So I hope he's still doing well. He looked like he was like 70s, 80 years old. So I don't know, but it's something that it's new to our country, fairly new. I think it's been around. Well, I've only started hearing about it the last few years, so I don't know how long it's been around, to be honest with you. In other countries, like in Asia and in Thailand and all that, they've done it for centuries. They've given it to their workers to keep them going, because they use it as a stimulant, and it's a mild pain reliever. So people would chew the leaves. It grew on a tree, and people would chew the leaves up, and that's how it worked for them. But I believe that they even started making it illegal in some of those countries because it was interfering with the pharmaceutical meds that they were prescribing. People were using this instead because it was easier to obtain and it was cheaper. And so they didn't want that. They want to be able to prescribe you drugs and charge your insurance company, thousands of dollars. So they ended up making it illegal. And I think they're working on doing that here. or at least trying to figure out a way to regulate it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But anyway, if this is something that you think you might be interested in, please do your research and listen to the interview with Joe Rogan. And I forget who the other gentleman is. I'm going to put that in the description because I do think it's important. But anyway, yeah, that's my talk on that. And I do have to go to work. Tomorrow we're doing our Christmas with our boys and their family. So lots to do after I get off work today. And gosh, thank God I've got the energy to do it. Like I said, I have a lot to do. And our weather is wonderful. It's gray and overcast and cold, and it feels wintry. It's not all hot and sunny and sweaty today. So I'm super happy. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I do got to go to work. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in Vlogmas number 9. Take care, guys.